right. Good afternoon, everybody. We are cruising on into 5 p.m. Just hopping on. I see a few people are already in line in the queue. So if you can do me a favor, if you can go ahead and type in the comments +1 if you can hear me well. I just want to make sure that the audio signal is strong on the other side. Every once in a while it gets a little wonky. So just type in +1 in the comments for me so we can get off to a proper start. Can you do that for me? All right, Craig, Steve. Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, cool. And also, if you could do me another favor, while we're hanging, waiting for a few people, if you could smash the like button and smash the heart button, that would be awesome, because what it'll do is it'll tell the Facebook algorithm that you know, to share this with other folks within the group, so we can have more people on the line, and it makes a bigger impact, and everybody gets to learn. So if you could do that for me, that would be great. I see Wilson's on, Joe's on. Thanks for joining, guys. Really appreciate it. And if you can do me a favor, like I said, smash the like button, smash the heart button. The more people we can do that for, the more it'll send it to the algorithm, so that we can get more people on the line tonight and have more people. And then also, while we're waiting for a few folks to come on, by all means, do me a favor, tell me what state you're coming in from and what your sub-market is. So if you put that in there, that would be awesome. Awesome. Thanks, guys. See a ton of likes, ton of thumbs up. Awesome. Please keep it coming. We want to get as many folks on here as possible. We want to get this big and ready, because I got something good for you guys today. I'm super excited about this one. This is kind of helps put it all together, gets the ball rolling for you guys, and gives you kind of like implementable, if that's a word, tactics, strategies, and tactics to take and implement into your business today, so that you can start getting the ball rolling immediately. So I see Catherine's coming in from Tampa, Florida. Awesome. Welcome. Another South Florida folk. Douglas is coming in from Connecticut. Steve from South Florida. Indianapolis, we have ELs on the line. Awesome. Thank you, guys. And don't forget, even if you heard me say it before, continue to smash that like button and the heart button. What it does is it shares the message with the Facebook algorithm that there's a bunch of people on here and want to share it out to as many people as possible. So it introduces, you know, more people in the group get notifications, so that we can do that, so we can share the message that we are doing today. So thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Hit that bad boy over and over again, so that we can get this out to a whole bunch of people. But thank you, everybody, for being on here. Really appreciate you coming and taking the time. So I will make sure that today is worth your while. So hopefully, for all you fathers out there, hope you had a fantastic weekend, a happy Father's Day weekend for all the dads out there. And Craig's coming from DC. I see some more people are hopping online. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Keep on smashing that like button. Get it out there. Get as many people on here as we can. So as I mentioned today, or as I mentioned in the email, and maybe if you got a text from me, that today is going to be on the kind of the strategies and tactics to get your first commercial deal. And if it's not your first commercial deal, it's your next commercial deal, right? So how do we find those people? Where can we go looking? For those of you who have never closed a commercial deal, we're going to show you how to get your first one. For those of you who've already done it before, I'm going to show you how to kind of use the people that you already know, that are already in your network. How to kind of look for people. You would be amazed at how much business is right under your nose if you just kind of knew where to look for it, or were a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? More intentional. There we go. Woo! Been a long day. Need some coffee. But if you're a little bit more intentional about looking for folks within your network and in your sphere of influence, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that, and also give you some implementable strategies that we can utilize, so we can get that going for you guys. So here we are. Oh, you see Brittany's coming in from Texas. Awesome. We have some South Florida folks, Indiana. Cool. So while we're getting a couple people on the line, I want to share something cool for you guys, because it's not just about the message, right? The messages that I'm going to give you today is important, but I want to give you context for that message, okay? I want you to think, keep this in mind. We got Sherry coming in from Oakland, Michigan. Awesome. Welcome, Sherry. We have some Midwest folks. So now that you guys have kind of been shouting out your states, right? Write these down. So Sherry, you're from Michigan, right? The average commercial sales price, and now mind you, I'm pulling this from a list from a company by the name of CoStar, right? I keep a running list of all 50 states average sale price. They are the largest aggregator of commercial real estate data in the country. And they have been tracking commercial real estate transactions, both sale and lease transactions, since 1987. What does that mean? They have a really, really good database of what's happening on the commercial side. For lack of a better term, they are like the MLS of commercial property. So they know who's transacted, who's done what, and so forth. So the data that they have is quite reliable, and they've gotten better and better over the years. So what I want you to do is to put this in a perspective for you guys. I want you to understand what the average commercial sale price is in your state. So you can kind of, determine, well, if I did one deal a year, if I did 2 deals a year, what does that look like? Okay. So we have Craig is from DC, right? So we're going to look at, so DC, you could do business in Maryland, you could do business in Virginia, but Virginia is 1.5 million average sale price, and then Maryland is going to be 1.4 million. Okay. So Craig, keep that in mind. Douglas coming in from Connecticut, right? 1.3 million. That's your average. So if you guys are in front of a desk, write these numbers down. So we're gonna do a quick example real quick. Brittany coming in from Texas, you are 1.6 million. Okay. Indianapolis, EL coming in from Indianapolis. Indiana is 1.2 million. Okay. Stephen Molinari, you're Florida. We're 1.9 here in Florida. Okay. Let's see, Joe Bush. You didn't put it where you're in from. But yeah. So those are the states that we got. So write those numbers down. Right. Oh, awesome. Thanks, guys, for the thumbs up. Perfect. Love it. If you can continue to smash that like button. Layla Gomez, Atlanta, Georgia. 1.2 million. Okay. So now what we want to do is what we've noticed across all 50 states, for the most part, most commercial transactions up to about $5 million mimics the residential commission structure. So basically what you're looking, I did not actually tell me in Michigan. I'm sorry, my bad. Michigan, yeah, 1 million. 1 million is in Michigan. Yep. So hope that's good. And Joe is coming in from Arkansas, and Arkansas is 1.3. Sorry about that, Sherry. And then Joe, you got 1.2. Awesome. Okay. Joe, Arkansas is 1.3. Joe is what CoStar is saying recently. So here's the thing, right? 1.2, 1.3, close enough, right? Take whatever number I just gave you for your state, right, and then multiply that by 3%, because the commercial structure is very similar to the residential structure up to about 5 million. So let's just take for all these transaction numbers are less than 5 million. So let's just assume it's a 3% fee, just for nice walking around numbers. So do me a favor, folks, whatever math you just did, shout out to me what the now that we know what the average commission to one side of the commission. We don't want to be overestimate, right? We just want to do 1/2 of that commission. So we'll do 3%, which would be half of a 6. And go ahead and put in the comments what you guys come up with for the average commissions in your state. What would that look like? I know in Florida it's 57,000, but just did that just a few minutes ago, because that's 1.9 times 3%. What do you guys got? What do you guys got? Okay, and we got Sherry's at $30,000. Awesome. Joe Bush, 39,000. Craig Gilbo, 42,000. Really, really nice. Okay, good. Okay, and anyone else? EL, 36,000. Okay, nice, very nice. These are some really, really nice numbers. Okay, now we're going to put one more thing into perspective before we go into the lesson. Okay, Brittany Robinson, 48,000. Nice. Douglas Francis, 39,000. Good. Now, mind you guys, one transaction average in your state. Okay, so this is average according to those stuff. Now, what I want you to put in, right, and if it's private, you don't have to put it in, but just in general, just ballpark number, right? How many more years do you think you're going to be involved in real estate? brokerage, right? Residential, commercial, whichever. You know, just write how long you plan on making this your career for. Maybe you plan on retiring in 5 years. Maybe that's 10 years. Maybe it's 20 years. It's all going to be age dependent and lifestyle dependent. But go ahead and put in the comments for me how many more years. So Sherry's saying 12 more years. Awesome. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Go ahead and put that in there for me, because this is going to tie it all together. This is going to kind of put a finer point on it. Catherine says 15 years. Yale is retiring here. Awesome. Good. Congratulations. Douglas, 10 more years. Craig, until the day I die. Love it. Love it. Joe, another 10. Brittany, another 15. Okay, guys. Now here's where we put it all together. Take that average size commission, okay, and multiply it by the amount of years left in your career. So Brittany, 15 years. Joe, 10 years. Douglas, 10 years. Catherine, 15. Go ahead and do me a favor and do that math and give me that number and put that into the comments, because we're going to kind of put all the pieces together, because this is kind of interesting. This is kind of interesting. Sherry comes up with 360. Very nice. Okay, thank you. All right, how about Brittany and Joe and Craig and Doug and Yale? What do you guys come up with? The amount of time. Brittany, 720. Nice, nice. Okay, awesome. That's a big chunk of change to me. I don't know where you guys come from, but it's a lot of money to me. Who else? What else? Joe, 390,000. Douglas, 390, but that's not enough. I don't disagree, but we're going to get to that in just a second. We're going to get to the second. Yep. That's a good point, right? Anyone else? Anyone else? Going. Okay. What I wanted to do by putting this number together for you guys, right, and kind of drawing these points together, is to put into perspective, to give you a little bit of background, right, on what it would mean for you to close one commercial deal a year on average in your state for the rest of your career. If you're going to be in for another 10 years, that's one deal a year for 10 years. And now that's assuming that the prices stay the same as today. Everyone knows that over time, the real estate market continues to up and up and up. You know, if you look at the real estate market here in Miami, I was just talking to a lender today. You go back 7 years, the prices are half of what they are today. It's been insane. But the point being, I just put an offer in on a property for a client of mine at 200 a foot, and in that area they were lucky if they got 70 a foot 7 or 8 years ago. It's crazy, you know. So the point is, the real estate market continues to increase and increase and increase. And what I wanted to point out was that's how much if you just added one commercial deal a year, one commercial transaction, not including anything you're doing on the residential side, leaving that just chug it along, just the way it is. One commercial deal, Douglas, you would have 390K extra, right? Over the next X amount of years, right? And I agree. It's not enough to retire on. Okay, but what if you did 2 a year? Don't go crazy. 2 a year, one every 6 months. The point I'm making is that with just a little bit of extra effort, with just adding just this skill set, think of it like a tool belt, right? You got a hammer, you got a saw, you got screwdrivers and everything. Just put a pair of pliers in the way of commercial real estate, right? Learning how to just take and close one extra transaction a year. Joe Bush would have another almost 400,000 in his pocket. Douglas, another 400,000. Brittany would have over 700,000 in her pocket, right? That's not including inflation or increase. And frankly, inflation was 5% last month, according to the Wall Street Journal, right? So these are big numbers, folks. So now that we've kind of put that in a perspective, let's start talking about what we would need to do to get you started, either finding your first transaction or your next transaction. We're going to get right down to the strategies and tactics, right? So, all right, do me a favor, folks. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just give me a +1 when you can see something that says state of affairs. State of affairs. So give me a +1 in the comments when you see state of affairs. Anybody? Okay, just want to make sure you can see this here. Just give me a +1. Awesome. Thanks, Douglas. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, so over the last year, we've had some very, very interesting, very intriguing market shifts, something that we've never seen, before. Tell me, and do me a favor by typing +2 in the comments. Tell me if any of you are seeing across the country 10 buyers for every home, 5 buyers for every home, 15 buyers for every home, whatever it is. Just to type in +2 in the comments for me, will you? All right. The next thing is, how many of you are seeing, or feel at times that you feel like 24/7 you have to be available to your customers. The clients are texting you at 10 o'clock at night, and they're texting you on Sunday morning at 8 o'clock when you're trying to spend time with your family and so forth. Tell me, do me a favor, type +3 in the comments if you ever feel that way, right? I just want to kind of get a temperature and see if, because a lot of the folks I talk to, we have students in 4 time zones. We're seeing a lot, but I just want to make sure we're all more or less on the same page, right? How many of you folks feel like you just can't get as many weekends off as you'd like to? You wind up doing open houses or showing properties on the weekends and so forth. Do me a favor and just let me know if a +4 if you experience that, right? And then how many of you, give me a big +5 with an exclamation point, are having no inventory? There's just nothing out there. You have dream buyers and just cannot find it. Find houses for these folks, right? Just put in +5 for the no inventory, right? And what I want to kind of show you guys by you seeing this, right, is you're not alone, right? We have people from Michigan and Arkansas and Atlanta and Florida and California and Texas, right? We're all going through the same things. I just want you to know that it's not just your local submarket. Everybody's feeling the same way. So hopefully that's a little bit of a solace. Joe says +5 exclamation point. Yep, no inventory. I know in the state of Florida, we are down 39.2% inventory from 12 months ago, right? So it's just a major crunch for so many folks, and so we're all going through it. Doug says +5, but 17 offers on one house, all above asking. I hear that quite a bit. Anyone else that has that, all the offers are above asking? If you're working with a FHA or VA loans, they won't even look at you, won't even get responses back. Give me a +1 if that's something that you guys are seeing. Because what I want you all to see from the others' experience in the chat and in the comments, that you're not alone. This is something we're all seeing, and it's crazy. We're in this kind of manic, crazy market, right? So let's get down to it, right? So the reason why I recommend adding commercial as a tool in your tool belt, right, is because I would love nothing more than for when the market gets crazy, when it's really super strange out there, that you go out and you have a kind of a backup plan, right? You plan for a rainy day. You open yourself up to a larger audience, right? What's the next best thing when you talk about when business shuts down on one thing, is to have other options, right? The next best thing to doing what you do best and doing what you love, is to have another skill set that can open you up to more people to be able to help. What's wrong with bigger commissions, right? A lot of states, their average commercial commissions are significantly larger than the average residential commissions. So, like we talked about before, $39,000, $40,000, $50,000 are average commissions on the commercial side. And then who also wouldn't love to be of better service to your clients in the sense that you can be kind of like the one-stop shop for them, right? So just as a caveat, before we get into taking on your first deal, just remember, you're going to take on commercial transactions, please. It's kind of like learning how to drive a car, right? Once you get up and you get going, it's a breeze. But just when you're starting out, it's a good idea to maybe take driver's ed, maybe have dad or mom show you, maybe your older sibling, what have you, or one of your friends that's a good driver show you. So by the same token, I would love to make sure you have a team member helping you out, another broker that maybe you refer business to. They show you kind of the tricks of the trade. Maybe it's your broker from your brokerage, or a mentor or a training program. Please, the best way to learn is learn from somebody else. It cuts down your mistakes. It doesn't leave you open to liability the way it would be if you're just trying to figure it out on your own. Okay. So, without further ado, strategies versus tactics. Can anybody in the chat tell me what the difference between strategies and tactics are? I'll go ahead and wait a sec. Can anybody tell me what a strategy would be? Let's go with that. Let's start with strategy. Anybody? Anybody? A plan and implementation. Good, real good, Douglas. Yeah, strategy or plans, exactly, right? So when we talk about strategies, right, the strategy is the what you do, right? So it's like, okay, the strategy is to go to, in a certain direction, right? And then strategy or plan, taxes are responses. Yeah. So strategy is kind of like, the theory. Good, Craig, exactly. Strategy is what you're going to do, okay? And then the tactics are going to be how you're going to accomplish those strategies, right? So strategy is the plan, and then tactics are kind of like the instruction set or the individual steps, right? So what we're going to do in this case, right? The overall strategy for getting yourself started in commercial, it's like this. This is what I call the 30,000 foot view. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to learn, you're going to take the step-by-step approach I'm going to show you, and then you're going to brand yourself in commercial. I also call it getting your name out there. A lot of people that use that kind of slang, right? But what it is how to start introducing yourself to others as the go-to commercial agent, right? And then what you're going to do is once you get your name out there, you tell people, hey, listen, like let's say Charlie is somebody that lives in your neighborhood or a previous client. Hey, Charlie, how are Susie and the kids? Oh, great, good to hear. By the way, Charlie, my team is now handling commercial requirements as well as residential. So who do you know that might be looking for, I don't know, some office space or something like that? Or if you do come up with somebody, let me know. Can you do that for me? Yeah, sure. Okay, fine. Whatever. So some sort of, general conversation, you weave it into a conversation and you reach out to people that know, like, and trust you so that you can have them thinking of you when something comes along in the commercial vein as well as the residential vein. These are just good brokerage practices by themselves. But what we're going to do is we're going to reach out specifically on the commercial side. So what we want you to do is once you talk to, let's say, Charlie, he says, oh yeah, my cousin, they want to open a pizzeria across town. They already got one booming location. He wants to own another one, or he wants to own another one, lease another one, whatever, right? So you're gonna help Charlie's cousin. You're gonna find the requirement, and then you're going to figure out the best way to fulfill it. In this case, it's going to be you learn how to you find a piece of property for them to lease, right? Or you find a place for them to buy, in this particular pizzeria example. Then what you do is you go out and you actually find the place, right? Then you take that and you send proof to your sphere of influence, SOA is sphere of influence, and your peers, right? So basically, you're going to reach out to everybody, say, hey, look, I just helped Charlie's cousin Tommy get his first pizzeria. Hey, look, I just helped them buy this place. Hey, under contract. Hey, whatever that might be, right? And then you rinse, wash, repeat. So again, you reach out to everybody, tell them you're in commercial. You help them find a requirement. You fulfill the requirement. You then tell them what you told them that you could do, right? So in this case, you're like, yeah, I told you I was in commercial, and look, I just put this guy into a space, and it's under contract, or it's just closed, or just leased, or what have you. And then you just continue it. And what that does is it creates what's called a feedback loop. And it's like you introduce yourself as something, you show them proof of it, you show them it closed. You introduce. I love doing that when I take listings. It's awesome. Like I'll take a listing and it'll be just listed, and then X amount of time later it'll be under contract, and then X amount of time later it's closed or just sold, or however you want to word it. But then people get to hear these feedback loops of like, wow, this person's really cranking out a lot of business. And what it does is it kind of like creates like a circle of information, a feedback loop for the masses, right? And the more people you reach out to and you talk them to about this and you tell them about this, the more they start thinking, oh wow, so and so Susie's really killing it on the commercial side. Wow, they're really doing a lot because they hear you. You take a listing, you put it under contract, you sell it, so on and so forth, right? So that's the strategy of how to get started on commercial. Now I'm going to give you the tactics to get that first commercial deal. Does anybody have any questions so far? If everyone's got a thumbs up, just give me a +1 in the comments for me. Okay, tactics. Okay, so again, strategy is what you're going to do. Tactics are how you're going to do that. Okay, thanks everybody for the +1s. Okay, so what I recommend is go about branding yourself. Now, what's going to be the highest impact? What do I mean by highest impact? Highest impact is where, with the smallest amount of effort, you reach the widest audience, okay? So in this case, your LinkedIn profile is the first place I would start, because LinkedIn is special in the sense that when you go and you make a change on it, there are some settings in the backside, and I think it's by default that whenever you change anything on your LinkedIn profile, it blasts it out to your entire network, right? So what's really cool about that is you go in there and you just type, residential/commercial agent, boom, you just changing that little thing, all of a sudden everybody in your network is going to get a notification that you recently updated your profile, and then they click on it. They're like, oh wow, look at that. Sherry is now doing commercial. Awesome. Well, and it clicks in their mind, and maybe they have something today, maybe they have, something they down the road or whatever, but it's going to get in front of people. I know we're inundated by digital information nowadays. We're just a barrage, but all it takes is for you to get in front of people X amount of times, and they start thinking of you as the person to speak to when it comes to commercial, right? So we're going to start with LinkedIn. Next thing you know, you're going to go with your email signature, right? Very, very simple. You go in there, whether you're in Gmail, or whether you're in Outlook, or whatever your mail client program will be, and go ahead and change that up. It'll take you just a couple of seconds. Excuse me. Make sure that you are within your corporate branding guidelines and so forth. But so long as you are, by all means, you change your email signature and have it say whatever it says, whatever you want to call yourself. Just make sure it says commercial in there. It'll start the ball rolling, because you're not just going to brand yourself in one place. You can brand yourself in about 15 places, and very few of them take much effort. Okay. Next one, Facebook profile. Do me a favor, folks. Can you guys just type in the comments FB, like Frank Boy, like Facebook? If you guys utilize Facebook for your business in terms of whether you get a listing or you get a just sold, go ahead and comment below FB if you do. Just curious, because I know most people I speak to are pretty big on it. I mean, we're interacting right now on the Facebook platform, so if that isn't evidence enough, I don't know what is. But I just wanted to see. Okay, Douglas is on there. Awesome, great, thank you. Yeah. So what it comes down to is you can take your Facebook profile, and whether it's a Facebook page, whether it's a Facebook a group, or whether it's whether it's just your personal page, I would recommend going to canva.com. CANVA. It's a free place where you can make graphics and everything, and it is absolutely awesome. Oh wow, looks like just about everybody on the call. Brittany, Tana, Joe, Sherry, Douglas, awesome. They're all using Facebook. Yeah, so it's a free way to hit a large platform of folks. And interestingly enough, you're reaching out to your sphere of influence with the touch of a button, right? So what I would recommend is go to canva.com. They have a template that's for Facebook pages, or Facebook. They call it Facebook cover photo, and because it's a certain dimension, right, height and width. And what you would do is you would say, you're basically makes it your billboard. Like, so you see how I have this CRE basic training behind me, right? It's going to be your billboard behind your head. So here's going to be your profile pic, and it's going to have words behind you. In mine, it says, I help residential agents learn to sell commercial properties, right? Pretty straightforward. But you want, when one of your perfect clients clicks on your personal page or wherever you might be changing this, you want them to be like, oh wow, oh I need that, or my friend needs that, or whatever it is. So you want it to be every time someone sees your personal page, you post something interesting, they click on it, boom, right behind you is a billboard saying, this is what I do, this is who I help. Okay. So it's super easy to do on Canva. It might take you 15 minutes to come up with the graphic, maybe 20, but I'm telling you, it's worthwhile. And that's one of the ways of optimizing your Facebook profile, right? Another super easy way is using getting a new business card, right? I would recommend going to vistaprint.com. They're super inexpensive. They're delivered within a day or so, so by all means, make sure you reach out via, or you go to Vistaprint, print up some new cards for 20 bucks. Boom, you're branding yourself as a commercial agent or a commercial residential agent, however you want to do it. Next, call all your previous clients. Now, I'm sure everybody on here is already calling their previous clients. If you aren't, then I would recommend putting together a series of folders, right? I recommend you calling your previous clients every 2 months. If you call them every 2 months, you'll be touching base with them 6 times a year. Just that alone will keep repeat business coming, right? It'll keep you fresh on top of their mind. It's keep that personal touch going, right? But more important than anything, it gives you a reason to reach out to them and tell them, because the thing that's great about previous clients is they already know, like, and trust you, right? You've already done well for them. You already put them in a house. You can ask them about their kids, see how the house is going. By the way, if you know anybody that's looking for commercial space, can you give me a call? If you know anyone that's looking to buy or sell any commercial properties, can you give me a call? Sure. Okay, great. Say hi to Tammy and the kids for me. Boom. Done. End of story. Right? Makes sense? Okay. So by all means, stay on top of your previous clients for residential purposes and for commercial purposes. Just in general, it's just really, really good business tactic or business practice. The other thing is your sphere of influence. On Facebook, we talked about it. The people that are in your sphere of influence, very, very good idea. Just out of curiosity, how many of you folks are dedicated about previous clients? Type in PC. How many people reach out to their previous clients, like have a plan in place to reach out to your previous clients? How many of you folks are doing that? If you can, comment down below in the comments for me. That'd be really, really cool. I'd like to see how many people are doing that. All right. In addition to your sphere of influence, so sphere of influence can be a lot of different things, right? Your sphere of influence can be your local church or synagogue or mosque or wherever you worship. It can be your PTA where your kids go to school. It can be your the people you play poker with, the people you play softball with, the people you bowl with, whatever it is, however you're involved in your community. Those are the folks that you want to reach out to via your sphere of influence. Maybe it's the parents of the kids that your kids go to school with, that type of thing. Like I mentioned before, Facebook posts are big. Definitely change that Facebook cover photo. Instagram is another one. I don't use it on the commercial side as much, but it is a good way of getting in front of folks. Maybe folks that you're already, nurturing and so forth, right? Email, broadcast, and drip campaigns. If you do not have an email broadcast drip campaign in place, I highly recommend it. Once you get them up and going, they take about a half an hour a month, maybe an hour a month to maintain, and you can hit such a large audience. I send about 80,000 emails a month. I have an email list of 10,000 people. I email it to twice a week, and in just Tuesdays and Thursdays, because those are the highest open rates statistically speaking. And I've sent 4 or 5 million emails over the last 4 or 5 years, that type of thing. So I've really, really dialed it in, and I cannot tell you how many doors it opens. Just staying top of mind, just reaching out to the right people at the right time. Next thing you know, when they're ready to transact, they're the ones giving you a call. So, and however you can do that, like I mentioned before, the highest leverage things are the things that take the smallest amount of your time, but can have the biggest impact, right? The next thing I would say is a monthly newsletter. Whether you mail that out, whether you send out postcards, whether you make it an email blast, however you want to do that, by all means, okay? The next thing is, hey folks, can you do me a favor? In the comments, let me know how many people are in your office, how many agents are in your company, in your local market there, whatever your sub-market might be. Just out of curiosity, because this is something for those of you folks that work in companies that are rather large, might have 20, 50, 100 agents under one banner. Let's say in an urban area, let's say. Just out of curiosity, can you guys type it in the comments how many agents you have in your office? Joe, Tana, Brittany, if you can let me know how many agents you guys have in your office. Sherry, I'd be interested to see, because I have a student of mine. Woo, Brittany, jackpot, 300 plus, love it. Douglas, it can be realty or commercial, either or. If you let me know. Well, actually, let's talk about the residential side of your office, Douglas. The reason why this is gold right here, this is worth the price of admission. So if you can take yourself and brand yourself to the people in your office, like for instance, Brittany, if you can brand yourself to the people in your office as the go-to commercial agent, and furthermore, I would make the subject line of every single email I send to that list would be, I pay better referrals than anybody, pay the best referrals in town, whatever it is. But if you could reach out, it's an awesome number. If you could reach out to those folks and brand yourself over the period of like 2 or 3 months as the go-to commercial person, like I said, go out, find a transaction, get a transaction, close it, send them proof, start showing them that you know what you're doing, right? But if you could reach out to those folks on an ongoing basis and you could get one referral from each one of those folks a year, right? You would have 300 plus referrals a year. Think about that. You would never even have to prospect to anybody. All you would do is you'd be sorting through all these referrals you got, and you'd be servicing all these referrals, right? So very, very important. If you guys are part of a company and you can get access to the company roster, and talk to your broker or whomever that might be, that'd be huge. Because if you could just make yourself go to a guy or go to a gal, that is the way to do it. If people sending you warm leads, there's nothing better than that. And all you do is you sort through the warm leads, see who the people that you can help the best, and boom, all you have to do is fulfill. It takes out like 2/3 of the work, So something to consider. Right now, the like I mentioned before, reach out to every real estate agent, not only in your office, but also every real estate agent you know. So many people are not like you guys. So many people are out there and they would like to do commercial, but that's just too hard. We're not going to take the first step. You guys are taking the first step. You're taking time out of your busy day to be here to learn more. So that's why I want to give you value. I want to give you stuff that's immediately able to implement so that you can take this and put it into your business and grow your business. Okay. So also now that the country is kind of opening up a bit, we have networking events with other residential agents, which is going to be awesome for years to come. A great way to be out there. I mean, I promise you, I've been to networking events, and commercial agents maybe are 1 out of 20. I should say 1 out of 20 agents is commercial. The vast majority is residential. So if you go there and brand yourself intentionally as a commercial agent, I promise you, you will pick up a piece of business every single time. If not one, multiple pieces of business every time you go to a networking event. And then finally, real estate board meetings, those ones where a whole bunch of agents from a bunch of different companies come together. That's another really good place to introduce yourself. Because again, 19 out of 20 agents is going to be residential. And then if you start branding yourself as commercial, it's like one of those things where if you build it, they will come. You start putting the steps in place, and you set the ball in motion, you'll see the deals will start coming your way, the opportunities will start coming your way, but you got to take the first step, and the first step is to start implementing these concepts. Okay. So moving along. So before we go onto the challenge, does anybody have any questions? Douglas says, I like this idea. No, I love this idea. I'm glad you like it. I think it could really, really help you, Douglas. By all means, if you put the steps in motion, you put together a monthly newsletter, whatever it is, a weekly newsletter, get in front of some people. I really think you're going to see some really, really good things. I have one of my students in Orlando is doing this, and he's in a company of like 200 people. So he's in the process of branding himself to those 200 folks. And next thing you know, boom, they're going to be on the line looking for your help, So, so now here's where, so many people, like I said, you guys took the first step and you're here. You joined a group about commercial real estate sales for realtors, right? The next group thing is you showed up and you're here to watch the training. Now, I'm going to ask you to take a third step, okay? Third step is I'm going to challenge you to implement some of these concepts, right? I'm not expecting you to do all of them, right? But level 1 of the challenge is take any of the previous items, right? And execute on it in the next 7 days. So between now and next Monday's live stream, I would love nothing more than see you guys come back and tell me a story about something you executed on in the next 7 days, okay? That's number 1. Step 2 would be take 3 of the previous items. And mind you, some of these things, changing your picture in your Facebook group or in your Facebook cover page, changing your LinkedIn, changing your email signature, 5-10 minutes, something like that. Not a big deal. If you took a half an hour, you could change and take 3 of them and execute upon them in the next 7 days, right? Level 3 is to take 5 of them and execute them on the next 7 days. You spent 10 minutes every other day, something like that, right? And then finally, level 4 is if you took 10 to 15 minutes a day, just, from the moment you get into the office, the first 15 minutes of your day, just go and start branding yourself as a commercial agent. Again, you got to put the ball in motion. If you build it, they will come. I promise you, this stuff works. I've done it myself, and I'm telling you, there's a cumulative effect that happens when you do it over an extended period of time. Okay. So, does anybody have any questions with the strategy? Remember, you're going to go out there, you're going to brand yourself, you're going to get your name out there using these strategies, these steps, right? And then we're going to find a requirement from branding yourself, and you're going to figure out the best way to fill it, right? Whether you partner with somebody on a team, whether you find a coach, whether you talk to your broker, talk to someone across town, whatever that is, right? Then you're going to fulfill the requirement, okay? And then you're going to go back to all those people you were asking and telling that you're involved in commercial, and then you're going to send proof to those folks. And you're going to say, hey, remember that thing I was telling you about? Well, I did this for the guy down the street from you. And then you're going to rinse, wash, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat. Any questions? Anybody have any questions, comments? I'm gonna go around robin and see if anybody. Sherry, do you have any takeaways that you want to share? Brittany, do you have any takeaways that you want to share? What your biggest takeaway was from this? Tana, Joe, any takeaways you want to share with everybody else? I think hearing whatever everybody else kind of got out of it, it can definitely be helpful. Definitely helpful. Douglas, like the idea. Are we allowed to say that we are pay the highest referral for commercial? Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I mean, a referral agreement is nothing more than what you agree to take from a check that you cash, what you're willing to share with the other broker. I mean, you can give 100% of it away if you want to, not that you want to, but yeah, I mean, just so you know, the typical referral is about 20 to 25%. So if you pay someone a 30% referral, they're going to line up. They're not going to give it to the commercial guy across town. Most people, are interested in financially getting the best deal. So by all means, yeah. But you share it as much as you can. I mean, if you can get people lined up at 30%, 35%, it is so worth it. Because if you think about it, the first finding people, sorting through them, and finding people that are actually willing to transact is about 2/3 of the process. And then the fulfillment is the last third of the process. So 65 or 70% of the effort is spent just knocking on doors, talking to people, finding them. And the last part is to me the easiest part. So if you can pay 1/3 of the commission to have them do 2/3 of the work, you're way ahead of the game. Does that make sense? I will be doing this. In my state, it's illegal to pay anyone a referral fee who isn't licensed, at least in residential. Yeah. No. Let's be clear about that. When we're talking about paying referrals, okay, it's the same thing in the state of Florida. I just wanted to be clear. Thank you for bringing that up, EL. You cannot pay a non-licensed person. When I'm talking about paying referrals, I mean to the agents in your office, to people that are in your real estate networking events and that sort of thing. Not to people that Susie that lives down the street from you. No. I mean no, and commercials no different. You cannot pay they would call that a commission, or any sort of referral fee is a piece of a commission. You cannot send that to anybody that is not a licensed agent or broker. Very good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. And Doug said, I'll be doing this. All right. So guys, just want to tie this all together, folks, just to let you guys know what I do is I help residential agents learn to sell commercial using strategies just like this. If you like the strategies that I brought here today, I have dozens more to get you up, get you going, get you closing commercial deals. We have a 6-month program that we use to take people from wherever they are to wherever they want to go. The only limit in there is how much effort you're willing to put in. But we've seen some really, really good results with our students. People closing in the space of 6 months, closing a couple of sales transactions, making close to $60,000, $80,000. That's not always typical, but we have seen it. I have one of my other students close 8 transactions between leases and sales in the 6-month program she was in it. So people do it when they come in and they give it their best and they put their best foot forward, we can see some really good results. And I'd love to bring those results to you folks as well. So if anybody is interested in learning a little bit more about coaching, do me a favor and type in the comments now, coaching. And I'll be sure to reach out to you, and we can schedule a time to talk, and I can explain to you a bit more about the program and so forth. How do we guide a client through the first transaction successfully? The commercial forms are tough. Yeah, that's something that we handle in our program. We break it all down in terms of when you use a letter of intent, when you use a purchase and sale agreement. That's something I'd be happy to talk to you about. Or you can ask a local broker, depending whatever you want to do. But I do offer a 6-month coaching program to help you do exactly this, to get you up and going and started, so that you never have to worry about passing off an opportunity. And so you guys can earn that $360,000 over the next year. Brittany, I think, has an opportunity at $720,000 if she just sells one transaction the rest per year for the rest of her career. So this is nothing to sneeze at, as they say. So if you guys are interested, by all means, type down below coaching, and I'd be happy to talk to you more about what it's like to get involved in the program, and how we can help you learn to lease and sell commercial properties. All right, guys. If there aren't any questions, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. If you folks have any more questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Brittany says she'd like more information. Cool. I'll get in touch with you, Brittany. No problem. We'll schedule something up. And I'd be happy to see how we might be able to assist you. All right. So in the meantime, folks, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm on Messenger. I'm in the group pretty regularly, and I would be more than happy to help you guys. By all means, do me a favor, smash the like button, smash the heart button. We want to get this sent out to as many people as possible. I want to get the good word out. I want to help as many people as I possibly can this year, in terms of kind of improving the lives of themselves and their families, and have a bigger impact on their community, and doing that by helping others learn how to sell, lease and sell commercial. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. I know it's busy. You could have been any place in the world, but you're here with me. So I really appreciate that. And I will see you next week. Same time, same place, live at 5.